Did you have any doubts about taking over? Because it's not an easy task.
Yeah, but we are here for this. I think it's my passion to have a new challenge, and a challenge like this, I couldn't say no.
When you came here, you came of course for the second team, but did you have in mind, you never know what happens, maybe they will ask me to take over, because the club was in a difficult situation then already?
Yeah, not at all, because Jordi didn't mention this any time that we spoke about this. He only told me that to try to help to develop the young players, because he know my career in all the clubs I was coaching. Then I developed many young players with the right mentality, and now these players are playing at the highest level. This was the only mission, of course, to try to win games with this player, because then it's easier to implement the right mentality.
Does it mean that next season you will return to the young team, no problems?
Yeah, it will depend what happens, but I am only focused on next game. We will see at the end of the season which are the results, or what the club decide, or what I will decide. So I'm not worried about this.
If we look into the crystal ball, let's say you win 8 games, Ajax becomes second in the league, and Jordi says, I want you to stay as head coach of the first team.
So why not? I think it's not impossible. So we will try to do our best to try to put the team as high as possible, and then I don't like so much that if this happens. So yeah, I'm leaving what's happening now. What's happening now is that we have a game tomorrow against Sparta, and we will try our best to win the game.
Is it realistic to aim for the second spot in the league? Is it realistic, or is it unrealistic?
I think for a club like Ajax, you should think high as possible. So why not?
Does it mean that for sure you will have to win on Saturday and next week if you want to become second?
Yeah, we want to win all the games, so now we are only focused on this one. Next week we will see the other one, we will prepare the other one, and then the other one. So what we want to achieve is to win, to go game by game, and to win the next game.
Yeah. What we've seen in the team is that some players are not playing to their best level. We've seen them play better before, and of course if you have bad results, it reflects on the confidence, on the enjoyment on the pitch, also in the training ground. You have just 4 sessions until the first game. What can you change in 4 sessions?
We are focused on changing the mentality, that the players can feel this confidence, that they have to enjoy playing, but not enjoying by enjoying, because I enjoy with my friends, not enjoy. I want them to enjoy defending, to join attacking, to join scoring goals, to enjoying going for another goal, to have a clean sheet, but not playing defensively, playing on the ball. So there are many ways to defend. We like to defend on the ball, because if you have the ball, then the opponent cannot have the ball, then they cannot score. So this is one of the ways that you can defend better.
Mentality, you're mentioning, changing, improving mentality. Isn't that the most difficult thing there is as a coach, or even as a psychologist, to change the mentality of a person? Is it possible?
Yeah, of course. If it was easy, then the psychologists would not exist. So yeah, it's not easy, but if you are an Ajax player, you need to have good mentality, physically strong, tactically strong, technically strong. Normally in the youth department they work really well in the technique, in the tactic, the style of playing of Ajax. So yeah, what we need is to improve the players in all the aspects, especially mentally.
When there's a new coach, of course, the players talk about this. If they're in the locker room and they're talking amongst themselves, okay, we had 3 sessions, what do we think? What would you like them to say to each other?
that is coming a coach or staff very demanding, that we cannot rest, we need to be focused. It's only 8 games left, we have to give everything, and then you cannot control the results. The results will come from the hard work, and this is what I would like to hear about our job.
You're a child of the Barcelona, Johan Cruyff legacy. A lot has been written about this, of course. And of course, as Dutch people, we look at this because this is what we have in common. But of course, there's also things different. To what extent are you a typical, I would say, principal, Johan Cruyff, possession-based football coach? And to what extent are you a pragmatist?
Yeah, one of, for me, the best coach now is Guardiola. He was also coached by Johan. So, but also him is improving because the game is changing. The physically of the players are changing. The way of defending of the opponent are changing. Now it's more one against one, man to man. So you need to adapt this philosophy, don't change the philosophy, but this philosophy, this way of playing to the times that you are coaching. Yeah.
Sometimes you have to do concessions to get results, and that's okay.
I don't think it's concessions, because if not, everybody will do it and everybody will win. And in the game, only one team can be the winner. So there is no formula that with this formula you are going to win all the games, because if not, only one coach can do it. So only one coach can win the game. So because the other one cannot do it.
Yeah. When you become coach of the first team of Ajax, all the journalists and the pundits, they look at your CV, what are the clubs that he's been. Some of the clubs you haven't been for a long time. So people have said he's been sacked all the time. Yeah. I don't think it's quite correct. What's the real story here?
No, it's not correct. I was sacked only in one team because I have a problem with the general manager and one player, but all the other teams I decided to leave because of a personal problem, or because I wanted to be in a better club.
Yeah. You've also mentioned that the sickness of your daughter was very important in this. She passed away in 2022, if I'm correct. This, I mean, most people that go through something like this, it changes their outlook on life. Does it also change the way you look at your job as a coach?
Yeah, maybe a little bit, yes, because when I started to become a coach, I started to think in a long term. So now I am focused only in the short term, because you never know what will happen tomorrow. So it's better to be here in the present, what you can do now, than thinking what you are going to do tomorrow or next week or next season.
Yeah. When you started with the young team, we saw, and I found this very interesting, some players playing in positions that they had never played in their time at Ajax. For instance, Jette, who was a left fullback, and then suddenly he became a right winger. Can we expect that sort of thing in the first team as well? Can you give us a little bit of a hint?
Yeah, why not? If you have players who can play in different positions, also, yeah, it's good for them, because then they have more options to play in the starting 11, because if you play only in one position, for example, as a keeper you can play only as a keeper, so you don't have another option to play in another position. But if you are a player that who can play in other positions, you can have more options to be in the starting 11, or to be more important. I think especially in the youth department, it's important that the players play in different positions, because, for example, for a winger to play as a fullback is interesting, because then they realize the problems of the fullbacks when they have to face one against one winger, so they can take advantage of this. I like to see some players in different positions, because I'm sure they can improve faster.
there's no guarantees in football. You can do things all week well in the training ground. The players can do their best, and sometimes you still don't have a good result. What's the one thing, even if you wouldn't win on Saturday, what's the one thing you want to see and that you believe that will have changed?
For me, the things that we were working on the pitch during the trainings. Yeah, we wanted to change some things. What I want to see is these changes.
But can you mention one thing that if we look from the stands, what should we look out for?
I prefer not to say because I prefer to keep for me and for the players. But obviously we want to see what we were working on the pitch in training tomorrow on the pitch against Sparta.
What's a low-hanging fruit? What's the easiest to improve? Is it the attacking, scoring goals, or is it the defensive organization?
I think if there was something easy, I'm sure it was done before. So I know it's not easy to do this job as fast as we want, but we are here to try it.
Good luck and see you tomorrow.
Thank you.